High above a peaceful village stood a lonely mountain where an angry giant lived all alone. Whenever he roared, the ground shook. Whenever he stomped, rocks tumbled down the hills. Everyone feared the giant. But one kind-hearted boy believed that even the angriest heart could change. At the foot of the mountain lived a cheerful boy named Ben. Ben was known throughout the village for his kindness. He helped his neighbors carry heavy baskets, shared his lunch with hungry children, and cared for injured animals. Every evening, the villagers heard loud roars echoing from the mountain. "Stay away from the giant," the elders warned. "He is dangerous and full of anger." No one had ever dared climb the mountain. No one knew why the giant was always so angry. One morning, after another loud roar frightened the village, Ben made a brave decision. "I want to find out why the giant is so upset," he said. The villagers begged him not to go. But Ben smiled kindly. Sometimes kindness can reach places that fear never can. Carrying only a small backpack with bread, apples, and a bottle of water, Ben climbed the rocky mountain. The path was steep. Cold winds blew around him. Loose stones rolled beneath his feet. Finally, he reached the giant's cave. Outside sat a huge stone chair. And beside it was the biggest giant Ben had ever seen. The giant's name was Boulder. He was enormous, with a thick gray beard, kind blue eyes hidden behind a deep frown, and shoulders as wide as a house. "What are you doing here?" Boulder thundered. His voice echoed through the mountains. Ben trembled, but he didn't run away. "I brought you some food," he said softly, holding out the basket. The giant blinked in surprise. "No one has ever brought me a gift." Boulder slowly accepted the basket. He hadn't tasted fresh bread or sweet apples in years. As they talked, Ben discovered the truth. Long ago, the giant had lived happily with other giants. But after a terrible rockslide destroyed their village, Boulder became separated from his family. He searched for years but never found them. Feeling lonely and heartbroken, he pushed everyone away. His sadness slowly turned into anger. "I never wanted to scare anyone," Boulder admitted quietly. "I was just lonely." Ben smiled gently. "You don't have to be alone anymore." Just then, another loud rumble echoed through the mountain. Crack! Large rocks began falling from the cliffs. The mountain was shaking. "Run!" Boulder shouted. But Ben noticed that the falling rocks were heading toward the village below. Without thinking, the giant rushed down the mountain. Using his enormous strength, he caught giant boulders before they reached the homes. He pushed fallen trees aside. He shielded frightened villagers with his own body. Ben helped guide everyone to safety. Together, the boy and the giant worked as one team. At last, the shaking stopped. The village was safe. The frightened villagers slowly stepped forward. They looked at the giant with surprise. He hadn't destroyed their homes. He had saved them. From that day on, everything changed. The villagers no longer feared Boulder. Instead, they invited him to village celebrations. The giant used his strength to build bridges, move heavy stones, and help farmers clear their fields. Ben often visited his giant friend, bringing books to read and stories to share. Soon, laughter echoed across the mountain instead of angry roars. And the lonely cave became a place filled with friendship. Whenever children looked toward the mountain, they smiled. Because they knew a gentle giant lived there. And so, the village learned. Kindness can heal even the loneliest and angriest heart. Sometimes, people who seem angry are carrying sadness deep inside. A little compassion, friendship, and understanding can make a world of difference. If this story found its way to your heart, subscribe or follow the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss the next one. Every story begins here, and every time you share it, it reaches a little further.